I'm so happy to be here, coming to you from my hometown in Flint, Michigan, and excited to see the first round and second rounds now, third rounds of the draft. I actually was able to catch the first round last night, and it's exciting to be here.
Rico, it's been 2 years. Actually, this summer will be 2 years. You've officially been involved with the Ontario Hockey League. I asked you before, but I'll ask again. Just what has this 2 year journey been like so far with you and your involvement with the OHL?
Well, it's been an incredible journey. I've learned so much about the people that make up the Ontario Hockey League. Everyone from our commissioner, David Branch, on down has been extremely supportive of initiatives that we've tried to put through the work that I'm trying to present. So what we're trying to do is create a transformation in the culture of hockey, and it starts with our young people, the players that are involved in our sport through our league. And what that may mean for some is learning a little bit about themselves so that they can feel free to learn about others. So I've been on Zoom calls with virtually every player in the league, and more recently, I've been able to meet them when they've come over to Flint and played the Firebirds. Some of the teams, obviously.
I saw you at the OHL Outdoor Showcase event in Hamilton that
Yes.
took place not too long ago. You had a chance to sit down. I remember you're in the Bulldogs room and having a chance to chat with the Oshawa Generals. And I've got to think those face-to-face discussions are what's really rewarding, getting a chance to talk to those players. And I'm sure, especially when the dialogue becomes a two-way street as well, and I'm sure seeing it really clicking in when you talk to those players.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what's most important is the human connection, and that's what I try to provide for each and every person that I connect with through my work, is to treat everyone as a person first, and then whatever has them a part of the OHL, especially our players and coaching staffs, that comes second in nature. A lot of what we're going through today is growing pains in society, and it's a difficult road to navigate. And what I try to do is be as real as possible, talk about my own shortcomings, and help people feel comfortable with the fact that we're all human. But the most important thing is that we work together to be a better us, a better form of us. And that's really my goal. It doesn't sound a whole lot like hockey X and O's, but to be honest with you, what we're trying to do is create the very best person we can, not just the very best player.
Rico, I know since 2010 you've had the inner city youth hockey program in Flint, and I'm sure
Mhm.
that's the thing of just being able to give these opportunities and or making not even give, but making sure these opportunities are available for players, no matter their background, no matter their upbringing, to have a chance and have access to the game.
Yes, our program is specifically for kids that live within the city of Flint. So there are non-traditional fans, are under-indexed hockey prospect. And what we do is we create an opportunity so they can have the experience of ice hockey. And we know that it's not going to be effective for all of them, but like anything in life, they get taught the skill of ice skating. And as anybody that's ever tried ice skating understands, it's extremely difficult at first. And so we see confidence being built, we see connections being made, and no matter what, no one can take that skill from them. So we kind of transcend that and do a little bit of life lessons in our program. And what's really great about us, I have incredible sponsors in our community that provide it absolutely free. And so what I'm hoping to do is use our program as an opportunity for other OHL franchise teams to say, hey, we can do something similar that works for our community.
I don't know, Rico, if you got a chance to see the interview I did with Malcolm Spence last night, the second overall choice chosen by the Erie Otters, and a player
Mhm.
who, here he is, coming into the OHL at 16, already says, I want to make a difference. And you know what? He said, mention, of course, the color of his skin and the fact that he wants to be able
Mhm.
to make a difference and be an example for younger players and younger, boys and girls, that there are opportunities. And I've got to think for you, that's, music to your ears, that there's someone at age 15, age 16, already knowing not only that looking to move forward in his own career, but helping to bring other people with them as well, and being a positive influence. That's got to be huge to hear as you talk about that transformation and the transition in the game to make it inclusive for everyone.
You can't say that any better. I have had the pleasure to meet Malcolm Spence and both of his lovely parents, and I met them at the Top Prospects game, and then I had a great opportunity to speak with them earlier this week, and they wanted to let me know. And I'm say they, I want to say Malcolm wanted to let me know that he wanted some mentoring, and he wanted to make sure that he took this opportunity to create a platform for what he believes is important, and that's incredible. That young man is going places. No matter how far hockey takes him, he's going to be going places. I can tell you that.
As we move forward and make things more inclusive, what is the messaging, for whether it's players, prospective players, families, and even just the average person out there? What are some of the key messages that people should be mindful of?
I think the most important thing I've been asking people to do is educate yourself, and don't be afraid to think outside the box. A lot of times our mind is, I don't want to say control, but you get a scope off of what you watch on television, and or maybe through other types of medium like social media. It's really important that if there's a discussion to be had, that you try to learn the best you can about others and their culture, and maybe get a better understanding. I tell all our players that it's not your fault, so to speak, where you grow up, because some people grow up in communities that aren't diverse and don't have the demographics for diversity. But I explain to our players and anybody that it's important for you to reach out to learn about others. So, I've had to do the same thing myself. I had a couple of what I consider blind spots coming into a role like this. One of them was the LGBTQ plus initiatives and community. So I've done my very best to work with folks that can help me understand the best ways to be the best advocate. I can't speak what it's like to be a person who represents that community, but I can speak on behalf of someone once I'm better educated. And same with indigenous peoples, and we can go on and on through the levels of diversity. But again, the most important thing is to learn about others so you can be better prepared to accept others. And for goodness sake, it doesn't cost you a nickel, a dime, anything to be kind to one another. And that's hard sometimes. We're competing on the ice. I'm getting ready to go play in a adult hockey tournament here in just a few moments, and I always got to remind myself to be a nice guy when I'm out there, because now obviously what I represent. But it is important that in the middle of the games, whether you be a fan or a player or coach, that you represent what's the best about hockey, and that we keep the standard raised high.
And how much, before we let you go, how much of this also, people can take this outside the game as well, and maybe someone who grows up in hockey and then learns about other people and their backgrounds and that can take that, I'm sure, into a workplace setting, take it into a family setting, you name it. I'm sure that's something you talk about, helping people become just better human beings, and knowing that we've kind of using hockey as the platform, but it extends to so much further.
Yeah, so I'll be the first to tell you, I'm a retired firefighter from the city of Flint, and hockey's been a big part of my life. But what helped me get to this point was my experiences, and my experiences with so many different people. And so my point is that it was a part of my everyday life, and it should be a part of your everyday life. Even if you don't have what you consider diversity in your workspace, it is very important that you understand that homophobic slurs, to give an example, is something that just it's out of bounds, right? We don't say it because you don't know who you're affecting around you and making feel marginalized. And so those types of things in our language, we can think whatever we want, but once it comes out of our mouth, there's potential ramifications, and people need to understand that no matter where they're at. And once they start to curb that, they'll start to curb the way they think. And that's what I think is most important. Like you say, we want to transcend what's great about our sport and take it everywhere we go.
Well, Rico, we know you have a game to get to, so we appreciate your
Yeah,
time joining us here. And certainly, I've already seen and heard all the great work you've done with the Ontario Hockey League, and of course, we mentioned youth hockey programs as well. So keep up the amazing work, Rico, and we'll talk to you very soon.
thank you. Thank you so much. Take care.
There's Rico Phillips joining us here, the Director of Cultural Diversity and Inclusion in the Ontario Hockey League, and just such a positive influence, positive mentor, and the interactions. And I've seen him. I know when he was at the outdoor game in Hamilton, getting a chance to talk to the players, and just that that genuine enthusiasm for not just the game, but certainly the programs he's involved in. It just shows he recognized years ago by the National Hockey League as well for all the work that he's put in helping young men and women get better, whether it's around the game of hockey or just in all aspects of life as well. So some great work there by Rico Phillips. We appreciate his time joining us.